Aren't you sick and tired of arranging dates just to get flaked at the last minute? I've been there, you've been there, we've all been there. Maybe you've done your hair, you've put on your favorite shirt, and then you get that message at the last minute about the woman, suddenly some important job has come up at work, her cousin has appeared on her doorstep crying, something's happened and she can't meet you, and now your Friday night is ruined. I hate it. We all hate that as guys. I'm sure this is a problem that we've all dealt with in the past. It's a problem that someone asked me about in our free school group recently. This group it has all of our premium content. It's the easiest way for you to directly ask a question to the game global coaches. That's what happened. The guy used our free school group to ask about flaking. I gave him all of these tips to how he can reduce flakes, and now I've decided to share these tips in this video with you, so let's get into it. Now, the easiest way that you can avoid flakes is to do a great approach to a woman in the first place and make a lasting emotional impact. Okay, so you're charismatic, you're fun, you flirted a little bit, you've suggested a great date idea that you two are both going to enjoy. You've done all that to her face to face. She's excited about meeting you, okay? If you do that, you're going to reduce your flakes a lot, okay? These tips are going to assume that you did all that, you made your approach in real life, you swapped contact details, you agreed to go on a date, you've messaged, you've got the time and place for a date, then she flakes. How can we avoid that situation from happening? So the first thing I want to say is that if you are approaching women in the real world, you are going to get a lot less flakes compared to if you're meeting them on dating apps. Here's the thing with dating apps, they've become so gamified and dehumanizing that women feel a lot more comfortable just treating men like they're not humans and like being rude to them, flaking, ghosting. In my experience from coaching and my own real world experiences, that is a lot more rampant if you're meeting women on dating apps, okay? So this is why a lot of the things we talk about on our channel is about how to approach and attract women in the real world. Just to repeat myself, yes, if you've actually organized a time and a place to meet this woman, you're going to get a lot less flakes. It's a lot easier to flake on vague plans like, okay, let's go and get drinks somewhere in the city centre this weekend, because that's not like solid plans. It's easier for a woman to flake out on it. We recommend inviting a woman to something simple and casual on the first date, something like a coffee date or cocktails in a bar. This is very low pressure. And also, if it's not going well, the woman, it's easy for her to make an excuse and leave, okay, compared to like a 3-course meal. So that might sound like a negative attitude, but it's going to be more likely that a woman is going to show up to this because there's less pressure, okay? Fancy and elaborate and unique dates, they all sound very romantic, but they can be a bit more high pressure, and women are more likely to get spooked and decide, oh, I'm not sure about all of this, and just I'm just going to text someone else and make up an excuse. Okay, you can do all of these elaborate and fun and fancy dates, but save them for when a woman already knows that she really likes you. For the first date, keep it simple and casual, just so that she shows up and has a chance to get to know you and to like you. Okay, along the same kind of lines, we recommend organizing the date as soon as possible after when you meet her. Okay. The reason for that is that her excitement about going on a date with you is going to remain up here really high, whereas the more days pass, the more other things goes on in her life, the more perhaps other men she's speaking to on a dating apps or approaching her in the bar, okay? The longer you leave it, her memories of how like emotionally flustered she was in your presence, how much she really liked you, that's going to start to drop the more time you leave it. She's also going to have more time to find someone better the more time you leave it. As harsh as that is to say, that is the reality of the world we live in. So this is why we recommend like going on a date as soon as you can after you've matched on a dating app or met her in real life or whenever that is. That's going to reduce your flake rate as well. Another tip which I keep smashing into you guys' heads is to have an awesome social media presence, okay? You guys should be swapping Instagram profiles instead of phone numbers, okay? This gives her a chance to spy on you and the things going on in your life, and you can curate your Instagram profile to make it look really attractive. So she's even more excited about meeting you because she's spying on your profile and finding out all the other cool things about you, which you didn't brag about when you were in her presence, okay? Also, if you're creating content for your Instagram profile, stories or something like that, that's gonna pop up if she is following you. It's gonna pop up in her screen and it's gonna be like a reminder of how awesome you are, and it's gonna keep her interest level really high, even if it has been a few days since that you guys were face to face. Another thing which a lot of guys swear to do is to have a video call before you go on the first date. This is something that is highly recommended if you haven't ever seen each other face to face before because you met on a dating app. Organise to have a video call. That way you can see if you have that real life chemistry before you actually bother to go on a date. And if that woman sees herself that you guys do have chemistry, then she's going to feel more comfortable about actually taking time to meet you in real life. Okay, final tip for you guys to avoid flakes is to send her a text message on the morning that you're supposed to meet up, okay? Perhaps confirming a detail which you haven't confirmed yet. So perhaps like what time you're going to meet her, just some other detail about the venue that she might want to know about, something like that. That's a better way to do it than, oh, we still on for tonight. You do have to text her on the morning of the date. If she is even a little bit unsure about whether the date is going to happen, whether you're going to maybe flake on her, if she's unsure about that, and then she gets another invitation from someone else, then she's more likely to accept that invitation and flake on you. So make sure you are sending that text message to her early in the morning on your first date. So those are your quick and easy tips for you guys to avoid those last minute flakes. I mentioned earlier our free school group. We've recently added a new module to our step-by-step guide to game class, all about how to run the perfect first date. So now you've actually got her on a date, how you're going to impress her and make sure that your relationship goes even further. We've added that recently. All sorts of classes. We've got day game infields, we've got night game field reports, we've got message game tutorials. It's all in there in our free school group. And like I mentioned before, this is the best way to ask a question to the Game Global coaches and get a detailed response. Might even get a video response like this one, okay? So if you want to join that, it's absolutely free. There's a link in the description. Where is the link? And the pinned comment. Other than that, my name's Joe. Hope you enjoyed the video and I'll speak to you real soon.